Hi. Okay, this is Olawale Oluwade. I want to speak briefly what I've titled A Tale of Two Leaders, comparing apples and lemons, as it were, And here's a video of former Prime Minister of the Netherlands, Mark Rutte, who finished his term in office and left, handed over. I want you to watch this short video before I get into my presentation. Watch.
Veel succes. Tom, sorry, even jouw Tom. Excuus. Sorry. Hoi.
Okay, from the video you just watched, throughout that was a handing over ceremony, and when it was done, he just took a bicycle and just rode away. Of course, needless to add that most Dutch, people from Holland or the Netherlands, they are fond of riding bicycles, so it's not a new thing. But that the president, the prime minister, the head of government of a whole country will ride away, in bicycle speaks a lot. Throughout his 14 years in office from 2010 to 2024, he used little or no sirens, no police escorts, little or no convoys, and he never held up traffic. He never shut down or held up traffic for him to pass. There were no serious scandals, no nepotism, no cronyism, no corruption allegations, no conflict of interest, no multi-billion-dollar contracts to family, friends, and associates. He simply came to serve his people, and after he was done, left gracefully, I might even add gloriously. Now, as a reward and based on merit and outstanding stewardship as Prime Minister of his home country, European leaders snapped him up and elected him the Director General of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, an even bigger role and platform, and he has been in that office from October 2024 to date. Now, let's contrast this to our President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And before I speak about his governance style and all of that, watch this short video. Watch. Now, that's a video of President Tinubu's convoy, motor convoy, just the motor convoy alone. Since assuming office in May 2023, President Tinubu has bought a new jet, he has bought a new yacht, countless SUVs for MDAs, and then for his own offices, all the different, departments in his office and the wife's office. He has approved the building of a new mansion for the Vice President, renovation of mansions, official lodges in Lagos and wherever. He has installed 10 billion naira solar electricity at the Aso Villa. He has awarded multi-billion-dollar contracts to some of his cronies and business associates. There has been scandal galore, scandals galore. Better Edu, and the rest of them, even the Minister for Interior, rampant insecurity with mass killing spree on a weekly rate, mass poverty, increased maternal and infant mortality rates, hike in electricity tariffs with little or no electricity available, hike in telecom tariffs with poor services from telcos, astronomical hike in the price of diesel, fuel, AGO, kerosene, Forex rate has been tripled. Inflation and unemployment rates have shot through the roof, and I can go on and on. Yet, the worst of it all is the blatant, deliberate, and most unfortunate constriction, the narrowing, the squeezing, of the democratic space. That is the very process that brought President Tinubu into office. Himself and his associates, party men, are all out to destroy this process just so the president can remain in office. The president knows, and his allies, they know that the president hasn't served the people, yet they want to foist the president on Nigerians without Nigerians' consent, as it is expected in a democratic society. Now, do you know why African countries remain underdeveloped after 60, 50, 80 years of post-independence from colonial masters? And we shall remain so for the foreseeable future. Do you know why? Because we have this terrible penchant for tolerating, excusing, and outrightly making justifications, however asinine, for atrocious political leadership. I have, a lot of professional friends. I belong to a number of professional bodies. I've worked for over 30 years as a professional in the financial services industry. So there are so many WhatsApp platforms, and then you see videos. You actually see intelligent, educated people, defending bad governance. Worst of it all, some of these, my friends, are acquaintances and so live abroad, or they live in Nigeria, they keep their family abroad, where in societies that work. Yet, these same people, for reasons best known to them, will defend despicable governance that we have witnessed since 2015, particularly since 2023 to date. Thereafter, these people, will look, rather than look in the mirror as the chief culprits and enablers of our underdevelopment, they instead point accusing fingers at everybody else, looking for cheap scapegoats based on poor, and flimsy rationalizations. Let us continue to pretend that we're normal, because we're definitely not normal people. We're not normal. Don't kid around with it. Something is fundamentally wrong with us as Africans, as Nigerians. Something is wrong with us. Either we're under a mass, spell or hypnosis or whatever. I don't know. Let's continue to pretend that we're normal and that all is well with both our irresponsible leadership and a totally docile, complicit, and spineless followers. Where I come from, in the neck of the wood where I come from, where we're saying that heaven will fall, but it's not going to fall on one man's head. We're all going to have a taste of this bad governance that we make excuses for. One way or the other is going to touch everybody. Definitely. Thank you for listening, and bye for now. See you next time.